Hey, welcome back to Freely Blooming with Kaylee. Something that has been on my mind a lot lately, especially at the beginning of a new year, but something I keep hearing over and over and over. I've read it, I've heard it, seen it on the internet, and I've seen where people say, I can't afford to eat healthier, or I can't afford to live a natural lifestyle. And so I wanted to talk about a few ways, specifically 10 ways that you can live a healthier lifestyle without spending a dime. Can you guess what number one is? You got it. Drink more water, or just drink water in general. Now that seems super basic. Really, all of these are gonna be super basic. I am not telling you anything that you've never heard before, okay? These are all super simple things you've probably been hearing for a really long time, if not your whole entire life, but something that will make a huge impact on your body and in your life is drinking more water. I'm gonna tell you a few symptoms and things that will happen when you aren't drinking enough water and are a direct cause from not drinking enough water. Now, there could be some other issues at play in your body, but not drinking enough water can lead to low blood volume, never good, urinary and kidney problems. For your whole system to work properly, you have to have enough fluids in your body. Reduced skin elasticity and dry skin. Vanity is definitely one of the reasons why you want to be drinking enough water. It is going to make you have more wrinkles if you have chronic dry skin. Headaches. I know for me, I have suffered migraines since I was a teenager, and I have learned to help control them. I still have them every once in a while, but I don't have them as much as normal. But I know dehydration is now a trigger for my migraines. So that's super, super important. And if you have migraines, and drinking enough water is so crucial. Constipation or sluggish bowels. Your bowels, your digestive system cannot work properly without enough fluids. Fatigue. Do you have chronic fatigue? If you're constantly feeling tired, are you drinking enough water? Could that be one thing that you added into your life that would help? Muscle weakness, another thing. Our whole body is made up of over 75% water. It is going to affect every single thing in your body when you don't have enough of it. Weight gain, due to the fact some people mistake thirst for hunger and will eat more when they are not adequately hydrated. Bad breath. Bad breath is another one. To produce saliva in your mouth to flush out the bacterias and the gunk in your mouth, you have to have enough water in your body. So chronic bad breath may be a side effect of not drinking enough water. Frequent illness. Your body requires water to flush out the toxins and the waste of your body and to help kind of detox while you sleep. If you're not getting enough water, that could potentially be the cause of why you are constantly dealing with chronic illness. So like I said, these little tips and tricks to living a healthier lifestyle cost you nothing. It does not cost you anything to drink more water. What I suggest is getting a cool bottle or even something with a straw. I know that I love to have those metal straws on hand or even the silicone straws. And if I have a bottle that I enjoy drinking out of, I know it seems silly, but it helps me. I got this one as a Christmas gift and it's got some crystals in it. Love it so much. But I know having something like that with me constantly helps increase my water intake. Now you can buy those bottles that have the measurements on there so you can really track how much water you're actually drinking. Now, how much you really need is really just kind of up in the air. I've heard one little simple trick to drinking enough water is take your body weight, cut it in half, and drink that in ounces of water. Shoot for that in ounces. So if you weigh 130 pounds, that's a bad one because I can't do math super fast in my head. If you weigh 140 pounds, whatever, I do fast math, half that is 70, then drink 70 ounces of water a day. And it really isn't that hard to achieve. Now, it is a huge change in your habits if you're not used to drinking water. I love my coffee, and sometimes I will sip. It's not that I have huge quantities of coffee, it's that I like to sip on it throughout the day. You know, I'll make myself a latte in the afternoon and sip on it for quite a few hours thanks to my favorite mug, keeping it warm. But that's one thing that was always a downfall for me, was that I was not drinking enough water because I was constantly drinking something else. If you're constantly drinking sodas or teas, then you're probably not going to be getting a whole lot of water intake. And in fact, not only will it cost you nothing to add that in, it will more than likely save you money, because instead of drinking sugary drinks, too much coffee, that's me, too much coffee or energy drinks or sodas, and you're gonna replace it with water. So you may even end up saving money on that one. The second tip I have for you is cutting down on sugar. Now, cutting sugar out is not going to cost you anything. Some people think that they have to go out and spend all of this money on healthy alternatives for what they normally like to eat. You don't have to do that. All you have to really focus on is cutting a lot of the sugary things that you're eating out. I don't think it's a surprise to anybody anymore that sugar, processed sugar, plays a huge part in a lot of the health issues that we are seeing in our country right now. We're seeing, massive rates of obesity and autoimmune issues and all sorts of things that really lead down to inflammation of the body. And sugar is one of the things that causes more inflammation in our bodies than anything. And unfortunately, with our food system and the way it is, sugar is hidden in everything. It is shocking how much sugar is in our food, even in dumb things like ketchup. Like, why would there be sugar in ketchup? There doesn't need to be sugar in ketchup. So once I started reading ingredients and reading labels, I became very aware of how much sugar I really was taking into my body. So that's when I started looking at how I could pull it out of my diet, not only not eating sugary desserts, tons of sugary breads and candies, but how I could kind of use what I was using already and replacing it, say like ketchup, with maybe a DIY, like a homemade version, which is super easy and super simple, by the way, or just buying one that doesn't have sugar. It's that simple. My third, you would think this little thing that you could do for free, and yes, for free, would be the number one, but really drinking more water and taking in less sugar was really my top two. The third one is to move your body. Again, so simple. And I know you know this, but it never hurts to say it again. It is so crucial, not only to your physical health, but also your emotional well-being, your mental well-being. Exercise is so important. Exercise releases endorphins and relieves stress, and it does so much for your body. It is absolutely insane. If I go even just a week, say if I use the excuse that I'm too busy or I'm doing other things, I go a week without moving my body, exercising in some way, I will be so cranky. I get more stressed. I don't like the way I feel. I feel sluggish. I feel more tired. If you're at a place in your life where you are so busy, maybe you work full time and you have kids, or maybe you are a work-at-home mom. I'm never going to say just a stay-at-home mom, because homemakers do more work than anybody in this life. Me, I'm all things. I am a homemaker. I work at home. I am a homeschooling mom. That is something that I chose. So yes, I have a full plate. But if you're one of those who you're just so exhausted all the time that you cannot imagine adding something in, just try taking 15 minutes out of your day. Maybe it's cutting out some, scrolling on social media. Maybe it's cutting out, binging on some shows at Netflix, which I totally just did the last couple of days. I found a new show and binged the whole season in 2 days. Ridiculous. Guess what I didn't do yesterday? I didn't move my body. I could have cut out an hour of that and went and did my workout. I decided to take a rest day yesterday. But I have to constantly remind myself, it's hard. I know it's hard. But even taking 15, 30 minutes out of your day and getting your heart rate up, moving your body, it costs nothing to go and take a walk. Take the kids, take the babies, bundle them up, go on a walk. You could do yoga or stretching. Any type of stretching in your body is going to be so healthy for you, so essential. It's so great for you. Go jogging. It doesn't cost any money to do any of these things. YouTube is amazing. Obviously, it's why I'm here, right? YouTube is awesome. There's so many free ways to find workout videos, things where you don't have to buy equipment. If you like those kind of high intensity interval training type of workouts, you can find so many free videos that don't involve buying equipment or anything else. They use your body weight. It costs nothing to go on a run. And I get that it's very hard to fit into a lot of our busy schedules, but it is so, so, so crucial to your health. And you have to take time to do that, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give to others and give to your family and give to children if you have nothing in you to give. I know a lot of people right now talk about self-care. Self-care is talked about all the time, everywhere. While I don't totally love the whole self-care movement, in general, there's a lot of things to that. I have lots of reasons for that, but I do believe in taking care of the bodies that God gave you, because you will never get another one. This is the only one you have. You need to take care of it, because like I said, if you have nothing in you to give, it's going to be really hard to take care of others. Moving your body is so crucial. Number 4, getting vitamin D. Go outside and get vitamin D. Yes, even in the winter. I get it. It's the beginning of February. It's actually really, really nice here in central Oklahoma. It's gorgeous. It's sunny. I'm actually having a hard time not squinting because the sun is just shining into the windows, and I absolutely love it. But even on snowy, cold days, it is so crucial to go outside. You can do a little bit of research. You can find all sorts of research from scientists and doctors who have seen and who know and show that there's physical evidence and proof that going outside, getting vitamin D, being in nature is actually amazing for your immune system. We are learning, especially this last year, I've known it for quite a few years, but really this last year, lots of people were made more aware that vitamin D is really crucial to your immune system. It helps boost our immune system. It is something that our body absolutely has to have, and we see with certain illnesses and sicknesses that shall not be named. When you have lower vitamin D levels, you are more susceptible to harsher symptoms of certain illnesses and viruses and things like that. So going outside, getting vitamin D is so good. You know, I will say that the natural form of any vitamin and mineral is always going to be best when given through its natural form. You can supplement vitamin D, absolutely. That's something that I do anyway. That's something that is important. But going outside and getting that vitamin D from the sun is super, super important. Number 5, get quality sleep. I know. I have been there. I've had babies. I've had toddlers. I've had small children. Now mine are getting older, and I'm not in that stage where I'm being, woken up all throughout the night. And yes, I only had 3 children. I say only because my sister has 8, so I feel like definitely it's only 3. I still have children, but I went through those years of not getting really great sleep, and it is hard. I know it's hard, but whatever you can do to get more sleep and good quality sleep, it is crucial to your health, not only for your mental well-being, I know, but it's crucial for your immune system. It's when we are asleep, that's when our bodies are repairing itself. That's when our bodies are doing the most work in healing or detoxing our bodies. It is absolutely essential that we take as much opportunities as we can to get good quality sleep. And if that means setting up a better sleep routine or a better nighttime routine to get good sleep, using essential oils that help you go to sleep or help you stay asleep. There are definitely certain ones that I use that work well for me. There are essential oils that I use on my kids that not only help them go to sleep, but also to stay asleep. There's certain supplements that you may need. You may need a certain type of magnesium or whatever else it is. I know when you're deficient in certain vitamins and minerals that it can be harder to get good quality sleep. So it's really important to pay attention to those things and find those things that work for you. So as far as setting up a good nighttime routine, I know for me, I have really loved, ever since being in this house and having a really amazing bathtub, super, super blessed. I love to take baths. I love to take detox baths with Epsom salts and baking soda and lots of essential oils, but that is part of my nighttime routine. I get really good sleep. Yes, I don't have a baby waking me up in the middle of the night anymore, but I do take extra steps to ensure that I am getting good quality sleep. And that definitely involves turning my phone off, turning off that artificial light. Looking at your phone in bed or watching your TV in bed, which I am very guilty of, is one of the worst things you can do. I know if I was having a really hard time sleeping, I would cut that out as well. But looking at your phone, specifically, that blue light is stimulating your brain, and it's so hard to get good quality sleep when your brain is firing and not really ready to go to sleep. So I definitely say adding in a good routine to help you get to sleep and get that good quality sleep is really important. Again, that costs nothing. It costs nothing to set up a good routine to help you get that great quality sleep. Number 6, I think I'm on 6. I hope I'm on track. Reducing processed snacks and foods. I know. It can kind of go along with the reducing sugar. Take some time, do some research, and really look at what is in the processed foods that you are eating day in, day out. It is shocking to really dive into those ingredients and realize the effect it's having on our bodies. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to come to the knowledge of some of these things that you've been doing for so long, but I promise your body will thank you for it. It doesn't cost anything to take some of these things out. You think about some of your favorite things that you're snacking on, and yes, I'm not saying be perfect and completely cut everything out, and I'm not even gonna say there's a balance in life. There is a balance. There's a time for certain things. So I'm not saying never. We pretty much live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, especially when we're at home, we do really great with our diet. We stay pretty strict. But if I'm invited to go to somebody's house and they have, they've made me a meal and they're being hospitable and giving, I'm not going to turn down what they're giving me just because of my personal stand on food. Now, if you have food allergies or sensitivities, that is different. But as far as personal choices go, I will cut out these processed foods and snacks as much as possible. And then, about 20% of the time, probably less, give yourself some grace, and that's perfectly fine. But it doesn't cost you anything to take some of these things out. In fact, you will probably save money. People think it costs more money to eat healthy, and it doesn't have to. I'm not saying replace these processed foods and snacks with these healthy versions, these healthy boxed foods. Some of these foods are great to have on hand as an alternative, but there's some things that I love to buy, certain brands that I love to buy of really healthy, say cookies or snacks, but they are really expensive. And to be honest, if you're on a budget, you need to be looking at snacking on certain things like fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds. Those things are not going to cost you more. I promise. People do it all the time. There are people who've completely changed their diets and the way they live on a very strict budget. I can say that I am one of them. I have been on a much stricter budget than I am now, and I wasn't able to go buy all those healthy versions of boxed foods. You don't have to do that. Cut out those processed foods, those processed snacks, and I promise you, your body will love you for it. Once I did that, I had much less bloating. I had less fatigue. There's so many different things in processed foods that can cause issues, especially with children. A lot of these processed foods and snacks can lead to, ADHD, hyperactivity symptoms. And if you're a mom like me, I had to recognize that I was the gatekeeper of my home. Giving my kids these things all the time was not really beneficial for them. Number 7, eat out less. Yes, I said it. I know it's hard. There are certain times and certain seasons where it's all you can do to just grab something on the way to another practice, on the way to another, event, whatever else. You have multiple kids and multiple sports and clubs and all these different things going on. We're all busy. I get that. And I've been there to where I was setting up our life I was making certain choices to be very, very busy. I have now since changed those choices, and now we have a little bit of a quieter life. And I had to be honest with myself during those seasons. And I had to be honest with the fact that I was making these choices to be this busy. And our health was declining because of it. Eating out all the time is not good for you. You know that. I know you know that. I know you're smart enough to figure that out. But cooking at home will save you money. And I promise it'll save you a lot of probably health expenses in the future. I've heard the term pay for health now or pay for it later. You may think that you're saving money by going and picking up fast food for your family or for yourself, or say that it really doesn't cost much different between groceries and cooking at home than it does by me going and getting this cheap fast food. I'm gonna tell you that's not true at all. I promise you're going to pay for it at some point in time, but I also think it's a misconception that it's less expensive to go out and get these cheap fast foods. It is not less expensive. It probably will cost you more. Eating at home will save you money. There's so many recipes. Pinterest is so great. There's actually a website I've used multiple times, or a blog called budgetbites.com. So you can go look for healthy recipes, real food ingredients that are simple and don't take a lot of time, that will save you tons of money. And there are blogs out there who break the food, the meals up, per ingredient and show you exactly how much per serving. You can, if you're single, if you cook for a small family, you can do batch cooking, make 2 batches of whatever you're making at home, put one in the freezer. That way on your really busy days, you can pull that out and have something ready to go. There are websites and blogs that teach people how to do freezer crock pot meals. Now, it's something I never typically really liked, just because I liked my food to be fresh. I'm not a huge fan of freezer meals, but lots of people utilize things like that. Utilize an Instant Pot, use the tools that you have, utilize a crock pot. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, extra time in the mornings, to throw in the ingredients of a really good healthy meal in the morning and having it ready for those really, really busy days. There are even convenience foods that are healthy, right? Like, I will chop up fruits and vegetables, kind of have like a little charcuterie board, on the go, like have some salamis and some healthy, I don't typically love like those processed meats, but salamis and summer sausages made out of grass-fed beef or pastured animals. Yeah, you're gonna spend a little bit of extra on that, but I promise not as much as eating out 4 to 5 times in a week. So eating out less doesn't cost you anything. In fact, it's probably going to save you money, but it's going to give a lot of health benefits in the long run. Number 8, think positive thoughts. Now, I know, you've probably heard it, and you're thinking, how does this fit in to the same category as cutting out sugar or processed foods? And I promise there is a connection. I've done lots of research. I've listened to scientists and doctors on podcasts talk a lot about this specific issue. And there is a physical correlation in negative thoughts in your physical body. I've seen these studies where they had these people thinking negative thoughts, and they were showing these brain scans, and they were showing that all of these different things were firing off when thinking negative thoughts, and then the positive thoughts looked totally different in the brain. There's a difference in your brain between thinking negatively and thinking positively. And I've seen that negativity and negative thoughts have a physical reaction in your body, and it's not a good one. It seems to always be a negative reaction in your body as well. But the more you think negative thoughts, the more you're going to believe these negative things. I've been there before, and it's not a fun place to be in. It's, these constant negative thoughts can lead to anxiety and depression, when in reality, a lot of it is made up in your own head. And that's really hard to say and to talk about in such a general way and to such a general audience, because I know we all have different things going on in our lives, and I know we all believe differently, and I know we all have, our brains are all made differently. We're all made up differently, different personalities, but across the board, negative thoughts will affect you negatively in a physical way. One of my favorite, I don't want to say favorite, but a Bible verse that always comes to mind when talking about this issue is in the Bible, where it talks about how what a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if you're constantly thinking a certain way in your brain, you're going to basically turn that into a reality. That is how your body is going to act. Your brain in and of itself can't really tell the difference between truth and fiction. But if you have these constant thoughts in your head that a lot of times probably aren't true, that's what you're going to put out into the world. So thinking positive thoughts will help, and it costs nothing. Number 9, stop using cleaning products that contain endocrine disrupting chemicals. Now, what in the world does that mean? I've seen some studies that show, and some statistics that show homemakers actually have a higher rate of things like cancer and chronic illnesses and autoimmune issues based on the fact that they are surrounded by all of the chemicals in their home for a longer period than other people who say leave their home do. So there's so many things in our home that can cause ill effects on our body. Now, it costs nothing to toss out some of these chemicals. Now, I know it doesn't technically cost nothing to replace them. So you're thinking, I have to clean with something. So what do I use and why? And so I'm going to tell you, if you really research and look into chemical fragrances, chemical cleaning ingredients, I promise you, if you did a little bit of research, looked at EWG.org, it is pretty shocking the effects that these chemicals have on our bodies. They are incredibly toxic. They are one of the biggest aggravators of asthma and allergies. Think about every single time you're cleaning your home, you're wiping something on the floor, you're mopping, say like with bleach. Some of the largest pores on your body are on your feet. Then you go walking across these chemicals on your floor, or you're putting a carpet deodorizer on your carpet and then you're walking. Those things are soaking into your body and getting into your bloodstream and wreaking havoc. Especially for women, they're wreaking havoc on our hormones. Our endocrine system regulates so many different things, but it's directly connected to our hormones. So many women have hormone issues. We're seeing infertility rates that are skyrocketing and just through the roof. I don't know almost a single woman who doesn't have some sort of hormone issue and some sort of, having to balance their hormones out. I know I do. I use supplements and essential oils to help me balance my hormones. But one of those things that is causing all these issues are the chemicals that we do have in our home, from our candles to mainly our cleaning products. Artificial fragrances have so many chemicals involved just in that single word, fragrance. That single word can have up to 300 different chemicals involved, and they don't have to put it on the label. Getting rid of these cleaners will do you good, I promise. Now you're thinking, what else in the world do I buy? Do not be fooled and do not go for those green cleaners in the grocery store. They are not any better. If you really look into those ingredients, do a little bit of research. Again, take some time to really, really know these things. That way you know what to look for. I personally use a really great plant-based cleaner. It cost me, $22 for one bottle. I can take 1 ounce of that and make a whole 16-ounce bottle of cleaner. That costs, once I separated it out, maybe about $1 per bottle. Now, that is saving me tons of money, but it's also saving the negative effects on my health. Now, if you added up all of the cleaners in your house, maybe you have a couple of cleaners in your laundry room, maybe you have a couple cleaners underneath your kitchen sink, under the bathroom sink, if you consolidated all of that and used maybe say like the plant-based cleaning concentrate that I use, I save so much money because it's a great effective cleaner and I can use it on every surface in my home, including my carpet, my floors, my sinks, my countertops, my bathrooms. Or a really good alternative also is the DIY natural cleaners. You can make them very easily at home yourself with really, really cheap ingredients. Number 10, my favorite. I saved this one for last because it really kind of encompasses really everything I've already talked about. You heard me a lot say research, do some of your own research. The number 10 thing you can do for your health that costs absolutely nothing is to educate yourself. Now you're thinking, how is that going to help me live a healthier lifestyle? If you educate yourself, if you take a little bit of time out of your day, out of your week, whether it's listening to a podcast or watching a YouTube video or, listening to whatever it is that you can find on, say, natural health or how to live a healthier lifestyle, take a little bit of time and educate yourself. It will set you up to make better choices in the future for the health of yourself and for the health of your family. Now, it doesn't have to be this all or nothing thing right out the gate. Now, I've told my story before about how I changed everything in our lives very quickly. Now, you don't have to be that person. It doesn't have to be that way, but it doesn't cost you anything to educate yourself and to slowly start making different decisions in your life. You can slowly start adding in that 15 to 30 minutes of moving your body every day. You can slowly start adding in maybe a time for prayer and meditation and quiet time. You can slowly start adding in a better nighttime routine to get better sleep. You can, slowly add in some good water bottles, I don't know, that make you want to drink more water. Like me, I need something pretty to drink out of. But it doesn't cost you anything to do these things. It doesn't cost you anything to educate yourself and do some research. Take it upon yourself to really learn how your body works and why these things are so important. I promise you'll be setting yourself up for success if you do these things. You'll be setting your children up for success if you're a parent, if you do these things for them. And you're going to be setting a better example so they have something to look up to and they instill, you instill really good habits in them while they're small. So it's not such a struggle to do these things as they get older. Now, I know this wasn't the most exciting video I could ever make, and maybe you were waiting for a video where you were wanting me to show you to do something or how to make something homemade or whatever it is, but I promise you that this is so, so, so important. And I know I've heard so many times that, I just don't have the money to eat healthier. I just don't have the money to XYZ or to join a gym or to buy gym equipment. You don't have to do any of those things yet. You can work your way up to doing these things and you can move your body without a gym. It doesn't cost anything. In fact, a lot of these things are actually going to save you money. Eating out less, drinking more water, these things will probably in the long run save you more money, and they're not always easy to make these habits, but they are simple. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and listening to me today. I would love for you to like and subscribe. That way I know what kind of content you are liking and I know what to give more of. So I hope you have a really great week to this new month. Have a great day.